Paul Erdos left behind hundreds of open mathematical problems. For decades, these remained undefeated, outlasting generations of human geniuses who dedicated their lives to them. DeepMind's AlphaProof Nexus recently cracked 9 of these legendary puzzles, finally entering them into the permanent mathematical record. The complexity of these proofs is staggering, yet the economic cost was not. Each solution required approximately a few $100s in compute power, the price of a nice dinner, to resolve questions that stymied humanity for decades. This chart shows the exponential climb of machine reasoning. In 2022, these models failed at basic addition. By 2026, they are conquering the research frontier. This relentless acceleration has left the tech industry in a scramble. Organizations are currently locked in a race against time, forced to adopt these tools or face competitive obsolescence. But the very same capability that effortlessly solves high-level math is simultaneously poisoning the well of our digital infrastructure. The Ladybird browser project recently took the extreme step of banning every external pull request from outside contributors. Historically, large code submissions implicitly proved a developer's care because the sheer labor required suggested they understood the work. Today, generating plausible code costs nearly zero. Maintainers can no longer use volume as a signal for quality or verify comprehension. While developers run a race against time, organizations are losing a race against entropy. The cost of verifying code now vastly outweighs the cost of producing it. As the ability to trust external code vanishes, the physical center of gravity for AI is shifting away from the cloud. Massive cloud infrastructures are shrinking down, transforming into a single piece of cold, hard local silicon you can hold. NVIDIA's RTX Spark superchip puts a Blackwell GPU and 128 gigabytes of unified memory directly into a consumer laptop. These machines run 120 billion parameter models entirely offline. It converts a recurring cloud subscription into a one-time hardware cost, with the added guarantee of absolute privacy. Even a local 3 billion parameter model, like the 1,000-token wood simulation, can now produce emergent, unscripted economic crashes and bubbles without any internet connection. This shift changes the threat landscape. Infinite private generation is now available to anyone, bypassing the oversight of cloud providers entirely. This local power has triggered an organizational panic. There is a growing belief that AI is flooding our repositories with inherently bug-ridden code. To test this, researchers conducted a rigorous statistical analysis of the rsync project across 36 historical releases. This chart compares defect rates. AI code was no more likely to exceed the median defect rate than human code. The problem is scale. AI changed 5 times more code, creating a mountain of data that overwhelmed human reviewers. This reveals a massive management failure. Tracking token burn as a productivity metric is a mistake. It measures the speed of the engine, not the direction of the car. Organizations are drowning in entropy because they are measuring the velocity of generation rather than the accuracy of the workflow. To survive this volume, we have to change how we measure and trust our AI agents. We are moving away from asking if the agent got the right answer and toward demanding a full account of how it got there. This 8-layer trajectory trace maps the agent's path, surfacing hidden subroutines of context, memory, and tool usage. 2 agents can produce the same result, but the trace reveals if one took an insecure path, violating permissions or taking risks unseen in the final answer. In this new environment, the execution transcript is the most important artifact we have for securing the digital frontier. As engineers build these internal guardrails, the federal government is moving to establish a heavy structural authority over the entire industry. The 269-page Great American AI Act arrived this June, aiming to replace a chaotic patchwork of state-level rules with a single federal standard. The bill introduces mandatory safety audits and critical incident reporting for any developer with more than $500 million in annual revenue. This legislative push follows a series of executive branch orders, marking a sudden, aggressive convergence toward federal oversight. Regulation is now rushing to meet the pace of innovation. To live with these systems, we must build architectures of trust in our code and our laws to manage the systemic entropy we've unleashed.